AITA for throwing my BF's kid sandwich away? My BF has a 4-year-old who was recently diagnosed with AUD. He has always had behavioral problems. From what I'm told. I've only known him a little over a year and he definitely does have terror moments, but I actually thought people were being overdramatic because he never appeared to be that bad. The way they described the behavior truly made no sense because I never saw him act out terribly. Only minor. And we have him 3 days a week. In light of his diagnosis, I went and grabbed a bunch of behavioral books from the library to study up on, and basically, from what I gathered, when a child acts out in a certain way when having AUD, you are not supposed to play into it. Because I guess it's attention seeking and poor judgment. Not sure how accurate it is. I'm no doctor and I only read a couple books on it. Far from an expert by any means. But anyways, BF left me with his boy to go to work this evening and my BF's mom stopped by to hang out for a few. I made him a sandwich for dinner, per his request, with a side of macaroni salad. I don't know why this happened or if perhaps his gram is a trigger because I've never seen him act out like this, but he took his entire plate of food and tossed it on the floor before slamming the table repeatedly, not even 5 minutes after she walked through the door. At first I just gave the sandwich back. Landed on top of the plate. Well, he looked at me and tossed it back on the floor. This time face down. So I just walked over and tossed it in the garbage. Cue immediate meltdown. He's freaking out. My BF's mom is freaking out. I wouldn't let him go to bed hungry, but I wasn't about to make him a new sandwich right then and have him toss that one too. So I was going to just wait until he calmed down. But anyways, BF's mom calls BF at work and tells him I just tossed the kid's food out and my BF lost his shit and drove home and told me to leave. He wouldn't let me explain anything. AITA? I don't have kids, so I don't know if I'm wrong. NTA, I'm wondering the time lapse between tossing the Sammy and the BF's mom calling the BF and what she actually said, because BF's reaction was extreme considering he didn't hear your side. You responded right in letting his tantrum pass before feeding him. AUD is not an easy thing to deal with and it takes so much patience. It's a good thing you researched this to see what to do. Not many SOs would have made that effort. NTA. You were supposed to give him back a floor sandwich. The bigger problem here is that your BF threw you out of the home without even letting you explain what happened. Time to move on. NTA. Beyond anything else. If he didn't let you explain yourself and immediately sided with his mother, then, gestures everywhere, this is what you can expect moving forward in the relationship. Beyond the potential to side with his son and mother over you no matter what the issue. I get the sense that his mother, himself and the kid are the type to throw, well you aren't. Kid's name? Mother. He told you to leave. You should take him at his word emo and really leave. I couldn't imagine having a partner who did her own research on her own time about my son's diagnosis. Please give this love and support and amazingness to someone who deserves it. NTA. But the boyfriend and GMA's reaction. Location flag, location flag, location flag. Your boyfriend only listened to his mother and didn't ask you. This kid is a package deal with the BF. Is this what you really want? NTA. Why was grandma even there? And why on earth would she tell dad to come home from work over a sandwich tantrum? That doesn't seem normal. NTA. The food was on the floor so it got tossed. When the tanty was over it would have been replaced. Info. Has your BF asked what happened or is he too busy listening to mummy? NTA. My stepson was the same. Trust me, if they don't get a grip on not giving in to his tantrums, it will only get worse. You did the right thing. Showing him you're not giving in to his behavior. Showing a negative consequence, but also knowing that you need to let him settle down before any interaction can be taken positively. You're doing the right thing. Calm and level-headed are the ways to deal with this. NTA. I have a cousin with AITA and both my parents are doctors. Not feeding into his outbursts is exactly what you're supposed to do. It's going to be a long and hard process when helping to parent him. But he needs to know that tantrums, outbursts aren't going to get him what he wants. Granny and your boyfriend aren't being helpful. Edit. I wanted to mention this as well. Your boyfriend trusts you enough to leave you alone with his toddler. Yet he throws you out of the house just on his mommy's word? Without even talking to you first? Granny is getting involved for no reason other than to make you look bad to your boyfriend. And your boyfriend expects you to be a full-time babysitter, yet completely undermines your voice as an adult and co-parent to his son. This is a sign that you need to GTFO of that relationship as soon as possible. NTA. But at least now you know where the child gets it from. NTA. Break up. Kid wasn't going to eat right then. Should you have shoved the sandwich in his mouth? Or put the sandwich that was face down on the floor in front of him to eat? JFC. Your BF is not ready for a relationship if this is how he reacts. NTA. His mom wanted you to what? Give him the dirty sandwich? Also, I hate to say it, but it's going to be him and his mom versus you y'all's whole relationship, and interfering in how you raise any future kids as well as this one. Him not even listening to you before kicking him out is a red flag as well. It's one thing to be frantic and upset thinking your child is being mistreated. However, if you're in a relationship with someone you trust and has shown care for your child, it's more appropriate to calm down. Separately, if need be, like a different room or going on a drive. Then ask what happened later. NTA. The fact he refused to hear your side of the story tells you everything you need to know. 4Yo had a tantrum, threw his food, and then was expected to calm down before anything more was given to him. Not sure how they is seen as something bad. Meant to give scrape off the dirt from the floor? And yes, sounds like Grammy spoils this kid and allows him to act like a terror. Odd or not, if he hasn't done this with you before, then you've been doing things right. NTA. Odd as a beast, I'm not going to lie. When I read an IEP and see Odd, I have to take a deep breath because I know the kid and I are going to have adventures. You did exactly the right thing. He had an outburst, you gave him a second chance. He continued. You disengaged. There can't be a power struggle if you just give up. From what I read, you didn't even talk with him, which would have set him off more or made it more of a challenge. You just went through the steps and that was that. You cannot reason with a child in a meltdown or in the crisis phase. Their mind cannot process it. You either have to catch them right at the trigger or beginning of escalation, or wait until they are de-escalating by removing the issue and going about your day. Eventually he would have de-escalated and come to a place of reasoning and discussion. Everyone freaking out on you and his dad coming home just gave him even more power. Now he doesn't just control his surroundings, he can make his dad come home and get rid of the person setting boundaries. Good luck to them. NTA. Your boyfriend was fine leaving you alone with the child, so clearly should have trusted you to handle the situation. Instead, he didn't even stop to get an explanation for what happened. If you decide to forgive him, it sounds like you need to have a boundary and expectation conversation. NTA. But you need to get a new BF. This one left you with a child who has issues and then flipped out for your reasonable behavior. No, you will never be number one with this guy, and the guy doesn't know what he's doing in. Neither does potential Mill. Nothing looks promising about a future here. NTA. That was the appropriate response to his behavior. Walking away and not feeding into the meltdown was the best response. Then, once calmed down, giving him another sandwich. Does Grandma know about his diagnosis or have any information on how to deal with it? Children with AUD need consistent rules and boundaries, as well as consistent ramifications for their behavior. Especially those with divorced parents who go between two households. My partner's 6YO has AUD. I've been to the child psychologist with both my partner and his ex-wife so we could all get on the same page with how to best handle his behavior. Has your so been to therapy to learn how best to take care of his needs? And Grandma, has she? NTA. Sheesh. Shows where you stand if your BF didn't even give you a chance to explain your side. NTA. I don't think this is the right relationship for you. BF's mom intentionally made you the villain and got her son so upset that he came home from work. He took her word without question. Even if you continue this relationship, he will always side with his mother. You will always have your life controlled by this woman. Run. It doesn't matter if he comes to understand he overreacted and apologizes to you. The dynamic with his mother remains and will never change. Sorry. NTAIF. Your BF won't even let you explain your reasoning of tossing out the sandwich and values his ex's word over yours. You need to get out of this situation and fast. Based on your story, NTA. Kid threw his food on the floor. Food gets tossed. You get him other food when he chills. BF definitely should have had a conversation with you before kicking you out.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.